Hey everybody, it's Katie from Bobby Hair Studio, and today I'm going to take you on a little journey on how to do basic formulation for bringing a damaged blonde back to a healthy brunette color so they can grow out their natural color as best as possible. So if you want to see that, stick around. Here is our before. She's very damaged, very dry, and she wants to go back to her natural color, but she wants to do more of a golden brown. So here is our handy dandy color chart. Now, if you guys have seen my last video called Redheads 101, How to Formulate for a Natural Red, then you'll recognize this chart. I think that it's great to use this for anybody who wants to understand formulation better. My client right now is sitting at the level 8-9, which has a yellow / a little bit of orange to it. And we want to bring her down to a 5-6, which has a red base. But she doesn't want to be red. She wants to be gold. So another visual right here is the Wella hair chart. The bottom row is the natural color before it's been lifted, and the top row is once you've exposed the pigment that's underneath the hair by adding a little bit of developer to bump that brown out. So she's again at a level 8-9. It's too processed. She's been going too hard on the Olaplex and the protein treatments. We can talk about that later, but we want to bring her down back to a 5-6-7 kind of area. And we want to make sure that she's got a healthy, shiny color without adding in too much orange and red. So this is one of my favorite things to do when it comes down to formulating someone back down to a brunette. And I'm going to show you the formulas that I use to create a beautiful, soft, golden brunette. Something that is different from my last video, the redheads video, is that I was formulating to lift with those pigments. Now I'm formulating down to add those pigments. So it's almost like the opposite of each other, but those golden, red, and orange pigments are all very important into holding a color into the hair and making sure that the hair doesn't look muddy or mossy. So something that I'm actually really happy about these days is that warm colors are trending. Warm colors are back in and everybody wants gold and beige. Some people even want like reds and auburns. It's fantastic because they shine so well on everybody's skin tones. You just got to find the right one for you, but warm looks good on everybody. But for the last like 5 to 10 years in the industry, everyone's been wanting ashy, and I don't know why. Ashy washes most people out, and especially ashy brunettes. When you go from blonde to brunette and you only formulate with ash tones, you're going to get mud. You're going to get a mossy, greeny mud color, or you're going to go too bluish or grayish, and it's going to wash someone out, make them look haggard and tired, and it's not a good look. So I'm going to explain a little bit of my patterning and placement to you right now. I have sectioned out what I call the halo. It's the full perimeter around the face and around the neck. So it's taking this halo shape around the whole front, in front of the ears and behind the neck. And I always take this part out with my brunette colors because I always want to formulate something that's dimensional looking and soft rather than going for one flat solid color. So I do have 2 formulas for you today. So the first formula is going to be my lighter formula. I'm applying that to the entire halo, and I'm taking specifically sectioned off pieces later on that you'll see that I'm also going to be applying this formula to. So this lighter brunette formula is Schwarzkopf Vibrance 7-65 and 7-4, and it has a kicker in the Royal line of 0-55, and it's all mixed together with a 6-volume lotion. What I like about this formula is it's at a level 7, so it's still a brunette, but it's a lighter brunette for anybody who's going from blonde to brunette. It's a more comfortable color to have around their face. It's still a little bit lighter, it adds dimension and softness, and it's only a level and a half away from the dark color that we're going to be putting through her roots. The contributing red color all is included in the -6-5 color. The 6 is a chocolate in the Schwarzkopf line, and a chocolate has a red base to it. The 5 is a gold for shine, and the 4 is a beige for neutrality to make sure things don't go too warm. And then, of course, my favorite little addition, which is my secret handy dandy 0-55 in the Royal, and that adds fill and it adds so much shine to the hair. It's my favorite thing that I've been applying to all my brunettes these days because it allows me to not have to fill the hair if I'm only going down 2 to 3 levels. It's amazing. I suggest you guys try a little teeny squeeze of this in your next formulation. And even though I am using a semi-permanent / demi-permanent color, I have added in that permanent fill, and it allows the color to just be that much more vibrant and shine through and fill the hair. And that way I don't need to do a fill and then the full color down. So what I'm doing with this placement right here is I've left out that little middle piece, and that's going to be a full low light. I'm going to use my dark color there. And this piece right here, I'm only applying the light color onto the ends because again, we want to do something that's mostly the darker color, but with little pops of the lighter color here. This is a similar placement I do for most of my blondes to brunettes, and I am trying to make sure that there is a veil of the darker color laying on top so that the brighter colors underneath can pop through without being set on the very top of her head. And the reason is so that we have a nice natural grow out rather than having like a line of like the level 7 kind of where it starts, where it's filling in the blonde area. I'd rather have that soft veil over that deeper color. You'll see that in a lot of balayage techniques as well. And you might feel like these are redundant to do in the first place because it's such a small amount of contrast. But I find when you curl the hair, it just adds this natural, sunshiny balayage effect to it. That's very soft and very subtle, but it just adds this extra expensiveness to it. And just for visual reference, here are the formulas that I used today. And there's the little -55. Now we're going to be talking the root shadow and low light formula. The reason why I put this one on second is because the hair is very absorbent when going from blonde to brunette. So I want to put on the lighter color first so it fully absorbs that. And then I can put on the darker color and kind of color melt it into the lighter color. If I start with the darker color and put on the lighter color, then I find that everything goes a little darker than expected because I'm blending the lighter into the darker versus the darker into the lighter. I feel like I have a little bit more control this way. Everyone's a little bit different. But our root shadow and low light formula today is again in the Schwarzkopf Vibrance line. We're using a 5-4, which is a beige, and a 6-63, which is a chocolate matte. And matte is green in Schwarzkopf, and that's to neutralize too much red going into the formula, which is why I love 6-63. As well as my little secret weapon, Royal 0-55, which is a gold kicker, and 6 volume lotion. I really like the lotion because it's a little easier to put into specific areas versus the gel is great for a 1-over color. The lotion is a little bit like more stickier and a little bit more thicker, so I can apply it and put it in specific areas. So for all the pieces that I've left dry from root to tip, I'm basically making an entire low light from root to tip. Any of the areas where I've made the bottom half of it a level 7, I'm going to try to blend in our level 5.5 to 6 into that color. And I'm just going to take my time massaging it in through the hair, making sure I don't miss any spots. And what I really like about, again, that 0-55 is it's going to be doing the filling for me and adding the shine that a lot of brunettes kind of miss. Is when they go from blonde to brunette, they're like, why does my hair look hollow? Why does it look unhealthy? It's because when you bleach hair, you're removing the pigment from it. And your natural pigment is what is underneath and makes your hair so shiny and full and soft looking. So when you put in something like this, which is a kicker, it is like the strongest form of a gold, but I'm putting in just a tiny little squeeze of it so that there's just enough to kind of fill the hair, but not enough to take over the whole look and make the hair look entirely gold. We're going to have a beautiful golden chocolate brown result that's going to blend very well into her natural color, and that way she can just grow her hair and work on it getting healthy again because of the over proteinizing and heat styling that she's done to her hair, which we can go into right now actually. Unfortunately, there is such a thing as using too much Olaplex. There is such a thing as using too much bond builder. There is such a thing as using too much protein. If you are someone who is using the entire line of Olaplex for your daily care, you need to stop right now. You need to put that stuff underneath your sink and not touch it for a few months if you're experiencing dry, brittle, damaged hair that won't grow and won't get longer. You saw this girl's ends, and she's been buying the highest end quality Olaplex products, bond building products, Moroccan oil, repair mask. Stop with the repair. What your hair really needs is moisture. When you have repair products like this, you're supposed to use them sparingly and rarely because it's supposed to put back and build the bonds back into your hair, which are gone. If you already have bonds built in there and your hair is healthy and you keep putting this stuff on, it's just going to cause brittle hair. Because what happens when you make something strong without being flexible is it becomes snappable. So moisture is the flexibility in the hair, which is why all of my blondes and brunettes, long hair, they get sent home with moisture first, and they get sent home with a treatment to use once every several weeks and only as applied on the bottle. If it says 5 to 7 minutes, only use it 5 to 7 minutes. Do not leave it in overnight. Otherwise, you're going to get hair like this, which she feels like she's been taken care of, but really honestly, she's been doing the opposite. Here are the products, as I mentioned before, for visual reference. And again, here is her before, looking super damaged, dry, and broken. We did need to give her a little trim because those ends were gross. And here is our after. I am so happy with this after. She was over the moon excited about it. It is a beautiful golden chocolate brown, and she's only going to need to come in for the first appointment in about 2 months to get a refreshal tone to put back in because blonde hair spits color out. And then after that, it'll be longer segments of time between our appointments. And this is what I love about warm browns is that they like to hold into the hair because the warm color molecules like to stick into the hair better than cool color molecules do. So I'm going to go over my 2 stars and a wish really quick, which you guys know is something that I love to do in all my videos. My first star is my formulation. I absolutely loved it. It matched her hair perfectly and it gave her a little bit more warmth than the kind of cool mousy tone that a natural level 5.5, 6 does. And my second star is using my secret formula of the 0-55. I love it. And my wish is that I wish I took more video. Anyways, I hope you guys like this video. Please leave a comment down below and please remember to like and subscribe. It supports the channel so much. Thank you guys so much again for all of your love. I can't wait to read the comments. Have a lovely day.